We have something kind of interesting going on today.
EcoVivarium Museum is suspending operations at this time.
We took a ton of animals in this morning.
Just showed up and realized that there's 130 animals in this trailer.
We gained 130 animals today.
The rent would have gone up more than 300%. My biggest fear was always, if something like this happened, what would happen to the animals?
Hi everyone, I'm Alex with the Phoenix Herpetological Sanctuary, and I'm here with Dan, our executive curator. Last week we got an email from EcoVivarium Reptile Museum and Sanctuary in Escondido, California. Unfortunately, their rent is going up by 300%, so they're not going to be able to re-sign their lease. They have a lot of animals that they're trying to place, and they have to be out of there by Friday. Well, we reached out to Susan, that's their executive director. We talked to her over the phone. That's when we found out how quickly we needed to have all of these animals out of there. So we decided to just say, we'll take everything. We're going to bring our big trailer. We have all these cages that we can load up and just help them out as much as we possibly can. Get those animals so that they have a place that they can go, and then bring them back to the sanctuary and hopefully find some placements for some of those animals as well. We're on our way to Escondido, California. It's about a 6.5 hour drive, and we'll be there soon. So we finally arrived here in Escondido, California. It was a 6.5 hour drive. Dan and I drove all day yesterday, but we didn't have any issues on the road, so that was really nice. Pretty much just a straight shot. We stayed here in Escondido overnight, and now it's 8 a.m. the next morning. We're here at the EcoVivarium, and we're about to get inside and see kind of how they have everything set up in there and meet with Susan. It's really sad to see that they're going to be losing this facility. Dan and I are to get to see kind of what their setup's like in there and some of the animals and how they're doing.
We've heard a lot of good things about the facility, so again, like I said, we're sad to see it go. Hopefully they can carry on with educational programs and maybe still do some good for the public and help with the education and things like that. We'll go in and see what's going on. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay, Dan and I just finished going through the EcoVivarium with Susan, and we saw all the different animals that we're going to be taking in. Dan and I right now are coming up with a game plan on how we want to load the trailers. So we're going through and opening up all of the cages, getting all these things unlocked, talking about which animals we want to go in which cages. There's a lot. We're going to be loading animals for a while here, but we're just trying to get everything prepped and ready so that it goes as smooth as possible.
120, 121, we're not sure.
We also have buckets in the back of the trailer, and we'll be taking some full setups as well, which we will be loading in the back of the trailer here. The trailer is really nice for these kinds of rescues because we have vision cages that line both sides of the trailer. Inside there is the middle of the trailer, which is also an area where we can kind of store stuff and animals. It's also temperature controlled. Dan and I have a temp gun, and we'll temp that, make sure it's nice and comfortable for the animals, and we'll run the generator as need be. We made sure we had a full tank of gas before we got here. We want to be just deliberate, get these guys moved out. I brought a bunch of buckets in case we have snakes, ball pythons, things like that. We're about halfway through. We've moved most of the big lizards and the more tough animals. I've probably moved probably 40 to 50 animals, including big retic and big green iguana, a mean Nile monitor, big Asian water monitor, mean croc monitor. But it's going well. Only one who got bit was Dan, so I call that a success. No, it's going well. We still have lots of room in the middle of the trailer. Most of the enclosures on the sides are completely full at this point. There might be one or two I still have available, but for the most part, the sides of the trailers are filled, and now we're binning animals and putting animals in buckets, bagging them up. We're making sure they're secure for the transit. So making sure they're tightly stacked because we don't want anybody slipping and sliding around. Yeah, I've got 4 cages on this side, 5 cages on this side that could still use small animals. We're just making sure that everybody they wanted to go is off of the checklist. They are keeping some educational animals with Susan. We're just kind of working around the ones that are staying here.
I'm Susan Nowicki. I am the founder and director of EcoVivarium Reptile Sanctuary. EcoVivarium was founded for the educational outreach aspect. I have special needs children. One of the things that I discovered for one of my kids that has epilepsy, teaching them contextually with the animals caused everything to be stored in a different area of the brain that wasn't impacted by the seizures. Where traditional learning in a classroom type setting or even one-on-one stored exactly where the seizure center was. What we found was if she could learn it in context of the animals, she retained it regardless of seizure clusters. We reached out to the homeschool community and we started doing outreach and things. There's a lot of kids in homeschool that are special needs. We work with kids across the spectrum from the juvenile justice system to Alzheimer's patients, people who are developmentally disabled, and these animals and those individuals, as well as the general public, connect in some really unique ways. There are 3 people who work here, and summertime we get up to about 20 volunteers. During the school year, that number drops in half. EcoVivarium Museum is suspending operations at this time for the museum. That is because we have lost our lease. Our lease expired here. The rent would have gone up more than 300%. We had a struggle to make the rent as it was with 10,000 square feet at under $1 a square foot. When you take that up to $3 a square foot and triple net costs on top of that, you're looking at $4 a square foot. You still have to be able to take care of the animals, do the medical and everything else. We couldn't do it. We couldn't negotiate any better deal with the property owner. We're out. Zoning is a big issue out here in California as to where we can be with the animals. So we are severely restricted. At this time, there is nothing on the market in an area that's zoned for us that we could afford to rent. It's $3 or more a square foot. I've known Debbie for many moons. My special needs daughter attended the summer camps there. She loved her time there. I used to be the president of the Herpetological Society here in San Diego for 10 years, and now this for another 16 on top of that. My biggest fear with all of this was always if something like this happened, what would happen to the animals? Even with our animal adoptions, we don't adopt out a lot of the animals that come to us because we consider them a sanctuary animal. They don't belong in a private home. We firmly believe that they are sentient beings. They have emotions and feelings just like any other animal. Having all that turmoil in their life is bad for them. It makes me feel good that they do have a place that I trust and I know. It's just a small world that we work in. Thank God that timing worked out. You guys were able to come out and save the animals because that's always been my biggest fear.
So we're 5 hours, finally got everything loaded and ready to transport. We've got the trailer shut. Air conditioning running, only one casualty, that was me.
Dan got bit.
Got bit. It's the craziest thing. I've rescued 3 mangrove monitors and 2 of them both bit me now. I got the second one today I was able to get without getting bit.
Like a vendetta or something.
Yeah, almost went 3 for 3, but no. We got it all taken care of. They still have a ton of work left in here. I hope they have the ability to finish by Friday. I think they're going to find out they have a lot more than they expect, but we're here to help. Did as much as they've asked us to do, and if there's something else they need help with, we're more than welcome to do it.
And we told Susan to, she can contact us if she needs any further help. But yeah, we've been here since 8. It's 1 now. There are animals in every room in that building. Decorations, and lamps, and bowls, and hides. And so we were just in there draining tubs, grabbing animals. Luckily, I've packed this trailer enough times that it's snug. Nobody's going to be moving, sliding around in there. It's very well packed. And yeah, like Dan said, we got the AC going. Keep those guys nice and cool. We're a little burnt out. A lot of them were upstairs, so there was was a lot of going up and down the stairs, and yeah, there's definitely got our steps in, back and forth through the halls, grabbing animals. Now, I do want to mention that EcoVivarium had some of their staff and their volunteers here to help us as well. This was very helpful. It wasn't just me and Dan and Aries. I know she's behind the camera, but also she pitched in and grabbed some animals and helped us move stuff. So it was an all hands on deck moment, but that's just kind of how we do things. I mean, everything's always kind of all hands on deck moment.
Nobody was shy, everybody jumped in.
Honestly, for how many animals there were and how many animals we packed up, I think the list ended up being close to 120, 130, something like that. To do that in that amount of time where the animals weren't already pre-packed, that's about as fast as that can go, I think. You know, we made sure that everything was packed well and secured, that everybody should have a safe, comfy trip back to Phoenix, Arizona. Now, after all this, we've got another 8 hour drive. But yeah, you guys will see us back at the sanctuary. Well, we're back at the sanctuary the next morning, so we're unloading all the animals.
Obviously, it's never easy when you're taking in this many animals at one time. It's not our first rodeo. We're just gonna do everything we can.